You say have something, Mark? Per Perfect. Yeah, whatever. Because I know people are probably lost right now. Trying to. I know they're waiting in the other room, spinning. Why doesn't this guy let me in? Um, well, thanks for joining. I'm Dominic Miami, president of Lazio Search Group. Put this call on because I have a lot of recruiters that have been reaching out to me and ready to throw in the towel. And obviously, we all know this is a tough market, but it's also in your head too, right? Like, tough market for who? Because I just had the best August, September ever, and we're already crushing it in October here. So trust me, the business is out there. You just got to go and get it. And a lot of these, the one recruiter I was talking to, he's like, Dom, I'm struggling. I can't find any clients. Blah blah blah. I go, listen, go back to the basics. You're either going to do it for yourself or you're going to make 100 calls for somebody else. So figure it out, dig deep, and jump on these calls, and we can share tips and tricks. And as we said, what works for me, my niche is supply chain logistics, supply chain tech, specifically sales and professional services. So, for me, it's just been working. I don't really have to do business development right now, right? It's just all referrals and people reaching out. Dom, can you help me on this? Yeah, maybe I have clients in automotive too that I used to work with in the past, and they're reaching back out. Can you help me with this? This recruiter can't get it done. I just filled an HR position, a quality manager, senior software engineer. Those are not my roles that I normally do, but we'll take them on and fill them, especially in this market, because what I can do is I have a lot of great partnerships with recruiters that I trust, and I'll say, hey, Dan, I know you do 30 years in embedded systems. Here, I need this role filled in Michigan. Guess what? 6 candidates immediately. I didn't even have to look. So it's creating partnerships, meeting people like you guys, and just sharing tips, tricks, whatever. And Anthony and I think there's probably a few others that joined this Friday call with Tom Alessio, Ernie, and a bunch of other people. What, 25, 30 people, Anthony? Yeah, just all share it like new AI tools. Then we have companies come on and share what's working, right? And then you just kind of take little pieces from each thing and see what works for you. But throw some pain points out there. Like, I just want to hear like what you're dealing with. Like, what are you struggling with right now? What are you running into? I'm sure you're getting the objections like hiring's on hold, or we don't have the budget right now, or we have another recruiting firm we work with. What else are you hearing? Anybody can jump in and throw their tip in. Nothing. Everybody's killing them. I guess so. D, all the above, whatever it takes. That's my mindset, right? So, I personally, I do a lot of, it's just warm intros because I build meaningful relationships, and I'm going to get into that. I created a quick 5-minute Canva presentation, so don't be like, oh, this guy's horrible at Canva, because this is 5 seconds right before this call because I was on another call, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing it today. So no, for me, it's really just, it's really simple, right? It's taking care of people, just being a good person, taking care of your clients, treating the company like it's your own, and then you can ask for referrals. They'll refer you out. Like this morning, I just got another message from one of my clients. They need 14 roles filled in EMEA. Can you do that, Dom? Absolutely. Well, I got partners in the UK, so absolutely, I can fill those roles. And those are all 120 to 150. So, for me, it's just I'm literally on the phone all day, every day. Like, my phone calls start as soon as I leave the gym. 6 a.m. I'm talking with other recruiting firm owners or candidates, because as soon as we start at 8:30, as soon as I get here, my phone just doesn't stop. And that's how you want it to be, right? Like, I'm just always networking, golfing with people, right? Like, I do a lot of golfing here locally, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of my clients are not even in Michigan. They're all global, all over the world. US, well, specifically North America and then the UK. So for me, it's just, it's, yeah, a lot of people are doing this email blast, and It's like, no. Like, first off, are you a domain authority figure in your space? And that's great, but don't rely on that as your only source, right? That's just a piece. Like, I have that. I have a guy that does it for me in the background. Do I rely on it at all? No, I actually told him to turn it off, right? So, but for what I think you need to do personally, like I'll see it. Does this show when I pop this up here? Can you guys see my camera right now or no? 1 second. Oh, it is sharing, but it won't let me. Hold on. Here we go. Let's go this. Like I said, 5 seconds. I made this presentation, right? Can you guys see it now? Okay. So this is it. We're gonna do this every Thursday, 12 to 1. Just or strictly business development, nothing else. We have other calls that I go on and I can recommend. It's every Friday at 12:30. A bunch of people on this call are in that group. It's a great group of people. Anthony's one that's in it. It's a great group. But here, can you see that or no? So which one is that? Sorry. Let's see. Yeah. Let me try. How about now? See, it's not showing on my end. Uh, Let me try this. Let me try it. Let me try it again here. I don't listen. I don't rehearse anything. It's fly and go, go. I'm on the phone. Yeah, it's just you're you see that now? All right. So like I said earlier, a lot of people have been reaching out to me and recruiters, and I see all the messages in the groups on Facebook, right? I don't comment a lot, but I always see like business development, and then I have recruiters reaching out to me. They're like, Dom, I'm ready to throw in the towel. It's like, well, listen, you're either gonna, look for another job and you're gonna make those calls for somebody else, or you dig deep right now in this market and you find a way to get it done. And that's whatever it takes. But I think what I see a lot too is people are just all over the place. They're sending out emails and they're like, yeah, I do this. And I'm reaching out to this company. It's like, you really need to nail down your ICP. And your ICP is your ideal client profile. And I can, on the last slide, I have my email. If you send me an email, I'll send you a form to fill out. When I paid for this big marketing course, it was like, hey, here's your ICP, goes all the way through it, and you'll nail it down. Like I know exactly. If you Google supply chain tech map 2.0 and you look at where WMS companies, that is my ICP. But I can go all the way across the board there. The average touch points just to get a meeting right now, and this is across all industries, has been 9 to 15 just to book a meeting, right? So what does that mean though? If you have your ICP dial, can you hear me? If you have your ICP dialed in and you're connecting with the right people on LinkedIn and you're putting out the right content, you become a domain authority figure in that space. But that's having a lot of conversations with people in your space to know what's really going on, right? And that's why I'm on the phone all day, every day. One thing that we were doing for a while that worked really well is just Loom videos, popping up a Loom video. And I'll just use Mark as an example. I'm on Mark's LinkedIn page. Hey, Mark, I see you have this job. I wouldn't even talk about sales, but that's what the girl was doing for me at the time. I would just say, hey, would love to connect, see that we're in the same space, whatever. Just get that. Never sell on the first couple. I so many people. I'm like, send me your messaging. It's like, hey, I can help you fill those roles. You don't think there's 90,000 recruiting firms behind you saying the same message? I get them all day from the Philippines, India, everywhere. RPOs that want to help do this. It's like so I can only imagine what the clients are getting on top of what I'm getting. It's crazy. Um, a lot of objections that I'm hearing people running into. Hiring is on hold, no budget for external recruiters. We're already working with a few recruiting firms. Might be a red flag for that one. It depends though, because we have a client that has multiple recruiting firms, but we do all their sales and professional services. So for me, that's fine. Great, use that. But if you got 9 firms working on 2 roles, probably want to get out of there, because you'll be spinning your wheels. 2 weeks to find a candidate, 2 weeks to even get a response. I'm sure you guys all heard that, right? It's just what it is right now. Reach back out in a few months. We don't have a need at the moment. Amazing. Sounds like you guys have a great team. My job is to be your eyes and ears in the market, and that's a true partnership. And I just did that, and it worked with a huge client. And just sent over the agreement this morning. This is a monster client I've been chasing probably for 5 months. A recruiter told me that he's like, Dom, I've been trying to get in with this company for 3 years. This talent acquisition head of talent will not break. I go, all right, let me try. Literally got her on the call the next day. And it's because I didn't go out. I said to her, I heard you hate external recruiters. I said, let me change that for you. Let me show you why I'm different, right? It's just you got to come off confident and then domain authority figure. If you sound like you're weak and you don't know the space, trust me, they'll pick up on that, especially the bigger companies, because those people aren't in that spot for no reason. Send me some info. Send me some info. Okay, what are you going to send them? Well, do you have a one pager? Something like that. But also, when they say that, okay, when I send you this, when's the best time for me to follow up with you? Because it really is just them trying to be nice. If you want to get your no right away. If it's a no, it's a no, right? Like if hey, we don't use any external firms. Great. Now I know you're a source. Now I know you're a source. Great. Looks like you got great talent I can pull. Who cares? You're not going to be friends with everyone. And some people may say I'm too aggressive. I don't care. This is what I do to get it done. You do what you want to do, but I'm telling you that's what I do. And I'm always listening and taking advice and tips and tricks, and that's why I go on multiple calls like this every week. It's just you never know what you're going to hear. One little thing that may help you and turn it around for you. And Tom said the other day, I love this. You never take a no from a person that can say yes. Spot on. Um, and then going back to the basics, right? And I think this is the most important part. A lot of people just don't do it. Like you really need to have this dialed in. If you don't have your ICP dialed in, ideal client profile, I mean, are you just guessing at who's going to use your services? How are you tailoring your service to that pain point in that niche, right? And you got to be consistent with content. I'd say 3 to 5 posts a week minimum around the pain points and anything that you're hearing. That's why you got to get on all these calls. And if you're just starting out, use AI, but then make sure you adjust it before you throw it on there that has a light bulb and I'm thrilled to share this message. It's like, oh, okay, ChatGPT's thrilled to put this LinkedIn post out. People catch on to that real quick. Connect with LinkedIn. Do not sell rating your first messages at all. Provide value any way you can. And that's why I'm scared. When I tell you LinkedIn automation, a lot of people just go and just throw in 2,500 people from a sales navigator search, throw in a LinkedIn, Dripify, and then just connect, view profile, and somebody's trying to get in. Connect, view profile, and then they have their messaging going out that is just so generic. You have to be. There's tools you can use when you do it on scale, but if you're nailing in your ICP and you're targeting the decision makers and the content you're going to send, that message that you're going to send to that one person is going to work for same hiring managers in that niche. So then you might have to look around and see maybe you have something in common with them. Like if I can find out that they're a golfer, like I'll look at their social media and stuff, and everything, whatever I can find, any data that you can get is always going to help you, right? Um, and like I was saying earlier, everyone does email blasts. Do not rely on that. Like I've had people say, "Oh, I just signed up with this email company, and they're going to create 5 domains with 5 emails, and we're going to great. Let me see how that works for you." But you'll get some clients, maybe, right? But you got to filter out A, B, and C. Who's an A client, and what is an A client? For me, an A client's a true partnership. Somebody that truly values you, has your, like, for example, one of my clients, we have 3 meetings a week with them every week with the different hiring managers. And that is, even if they don't have a role open, just to keep our eyes and ears on the ground, keep up to date in the market, what they're looking for, and it works great. That is the best type of relationship. But also setting the expectations when you do sign that agreement, like, hey, if I'm going to put my time and effort in this, I need to have feedback on my clients within 24 to 48 hours, period. Otherwise, otherwise I'm not working, especially if you're doing a contingent. I don't know. I'll open the floor up here a little bit and just we'll chat back and forth. But what you want to do is set up cadences too, like 3 to 5 week cadences, and that's going back to the 9 to 15 touch points, and sometimes more, whatever it takes, right? And that's a phone call, any email, LinkedIn message, whatever it takes to get in front of them. I've heard of people just even messaging people on Facebook, Instagram. I don't do that, but Facebook is, or LinkedIn is where I play. That's where a lot of my clients are, and they respond, especially salespeople. So, uh, but like what I am doing BD, I'm typically targeting 10 companies at a time, and I will set those cadences, so 3 to 5 weeks. So like day one, send them a connection request with a message, provide value, right? And if you can really get into your niche, like I know I hear this too, and it's like, oh, Dom, I do SaaS supply chain or SaaS tech startups. Well, that's dead right now, right? For most people, there's nothing there. The money's not flowing in the market, so it's just not there. So where do you transition from there? You can find so many other industries that are probably similar to what you're doing right now. But it's just like for me, for example, it's SaaS supply chain tech. I can go recruit in SaaS cybersecurity sales roles. I can go market research. I can go healthcare tech, whatever. I mean, but I know like, hey, here's where I want to start. Now, if I do go there, well, then I'm going to start changing my content to target those people that I'm with, right? Those people that I'm connecting with and targeting. Um, and then this is just basics. I can email this to you if you send me a message after. This is just basic, like building a strong brand image, establish. I mean, you guys can read it, and I'll send it to you after. Nah, I'm horrible at reading. Yeah, I don't read. Yeah, yeah. No. So I'm always just connecting with them. Just for example, if I know a connection they have, I'll first ask for a warm intro. There's nothing better than a warm intro. But if it's cold, I'll just connect and say, hey, I would like to connect in the same industry, just like to see your content or posts. You can make that up, change it up, and then just always provide value. Like if you have an MPC, are you mostly familiar with MPC, most placeable candidate? Hey, I see you have this, and I wouldn't say this on the first one. Never sell on the first one. I'm telling you right now. I just see the data on it. Because everyone's doing the same thing. When you provide value, like I had a guy. Here's a perfect example. I had a guy, and I'll get back to your question, Mark. But the guy from Sandler called me yesterday while I was pulling in my driveway, and he's like, I was basically telling him what he was going to try to sell me on in the training. He's like, "Did you ever take our Sandler training course?" I go, "No," but I recruit top salespeople and enterprise account executives, CSOs, CRO, all of it, right? So I know the type of selling they do. It's consultative selling. It's really just bringing value. It's knowing the customer's pain points. It's identifying your ICP, and then he's like, "Yeah, you're spot on." And I went further into depth than that, but that's exactly what it is. But on that messaging, if you got an NPC that they have a role open for, even they don't have a role open for it. Right now, a lot of companies are looking to upgrade their teams, right? So they may not be posting jobs, but hey, if somebody came across the board that was a rock star candidate, let's look at it. That's a really good way to get in. I mean, Robert Half masters that. If anybody came from Robert Half, you know that. They're really good at that. Um, no, it's just a piece of it. Like Medic, Challenger, all of them, right? For me personally, I talk to all these salespeople, so I see you like just take a little bit piece over here, a piece over here, and just put it together. And in sales, you got to be a chameleon and change it up. But if you're honest, just genuine, and authentic, people can read that too right away. If you get on the phone and start BS and pretend like you know about WMS, they're gonna, and they ask you a question, you're like, oh yeah, I don't know that, but you got to know what you're talking about, and that's why I prefer to stay in my niche. But I also know a lot of people that are, they went very niche and they got stuck, and then they're just no placements right now, 10 months into the year, and those are the people I'm trying to help right now because you can pivot to other industries real quick and still do the similar type of roles. Now you just got to change your connections, your content, and all that. But like I tell my team here, what what does it take? Whatever it takes. You have to have that mindset every day. Like here, for me, I lost 250K in placements in 1 week in February. Now, was I pissed? 100%. But am I going to be miserable and just bitch the whole week? No, I can't. So what I got to do? I went for a walk, come back an hour later, back at it. That is the mindset you have to have because you have guys like me. And I know my direct competitor, Brent Marsuga, CS Recruiting. They're sharks, and that's who I'm going up against. So I got to be even work even harder than they are, right? And mind you, they already have a big name in the space, 15, 20 years. So me, that I've been recruiting for 14, 15 years, but own my own firm for 3 years. So we don't have the brand recognition that they have. Like my first year, I was signing major logos. Like I have Schneider Logistics, Ryder, DSV. These are 90,000 employee plus companies, right? And I'll even say that, and you can go ahead and try and get them. Good luck. You know, we built such a great relationship with the managers we work with that, I mean, I'll show you a message here when I'll pull it up. Just like I said this morning, 15 new roles. She reached out to me because they trust us. And how they trust us, here's a perfect example. We had a VP of sales interviewing for a role, 250K role. 3 interviews in, I found out some background information on this guy that I didn't like. Guess what I did? I pulled the candidate out. He was probably going to get the job and get the offer. But you know what? This is a publicly traded company. The general manager in North America calls me. He goes, Dom, I've never had a recruiter pull a candidate out like that. He's like, why'd you do that? I go, Bill, because I'm not transactional. I play the long-term game, and I truly care about your company as if it was my own. When you do that, just watch the difference of what comes to you. I mean, I'm telling you right now, like, I'm only 3 years in. I don't really do much BD. I am doing BD, but it's like, hey, I'm not working with this guy, and he's connecting me with this person, and I may help him out, whatever. I'm always just if I can help anyone. So if a candidate reaches out to me and I can't help, I'll be like, hey, reach out to this recruiter. They're in your space. Great recruiters here. And that's the benefit of not going to these calls like this too. And the one I highly suggest too, the one that we have on Friday, the recruiting roundtable. You can watch the videos on YouTube too. It's great. The best part of the call is after the recording, and Anthony will tell you that that's where the real deal stuff comes out. Because sometimes we don't want to share certain things. Like there's a lot of things I would love to say, but when I stop this recording. We can share. You know, but here's an example for me for how where this is where most people will quit too. I messaged this CEO of this major company. They're owned by Panasonic. It's called Blue Yonder. If you're a golfer, you knew John Rahm at the time had Blue Yonder in his shirt. 8 messages to the CEO, 0 response. On the last message, I said to him, I go, listen, I said, Mark, I'm young, I'm hungry, I'm an ex-athlete. You're either going to work with me or I'm going to pull all your top talent and send it to your direct competitor. He goes, wow, amazing. He sends me on Monday, I'm going to set you up ahead of customer success. And just kept the relationship from there. But, most people are scared to do that with C-suites. Guess what? When you push back on them and you have the confidence, because they're always used to being told yes, 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 yeah, right? So when you have the confidence, you push back on them and be like, no, I'm the domain authority figure in the recruiting space. You know your KPIs and this and that and SOPs for what you do, but let me tell you, I know what I do. And that is me on the phone all day, every day with candidates. So I hear all the pain points, all the problems. I'm going through 9 interviews. I'm getting ghosted. I have 1,000 applicants if I post a job with AI tailored resumes. We've heard it all, right? If you're in the game, you know what I'm talking about. And then you have to be in the game. And also, a lot of these recruiters that I know are paying a ton of money for these courses that a lot of the information out there is free. Or you could just join a Friday call with us or this, and we're gonna dig deeper into these calls. But we're gonna open it up and we're gonna find out what pain points are you having, what's working for you, what's not, and let's all help each other, right? And that's what it is. At the end of the day, we're in a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? There's enough money for all of us, and there's a reason why we all went on our own, right? And a lot of you, if you did leave, let's say you started 3 years ago, and you were making placements left and right. It was the easiest mark in the world. I mean, every time I turned around, we were making a placement at 150. But in reality, is that like how the market's always going to be? No, you're going to have your ups and downs, and you just got to battle and stay consistent every single day, and outwork everyone. Otherwise, you're going to go do this for somebody else. So you pick, And I would highly suggest setting a routine and sticking to it, time blocking your day, because what happened to me too, and like I always try to learn from my mistakes of what I was taking on every call in the beginning, right? Even if they weren't in my space, and in my, my right hand man, AK, he's like, Dom, you gotta start time blocking. He's really good at it. So you gotta start time blocking doing this, and that changed the game for me, right? So in the morning I'll come in, or the night before, and I'll basically create my power list, which is my 5 critical must do tasks for the day before I shut down my laptop. And typically for me, it's always if there's wherever anything that has to do with getting to the money, that's what I'm going to first. That's going on my top priority because that's what we do, right? And then I'll make sure that I take care of everything else. And sometimes I work till 10, right? It is what it is. You think a lot of people will portray on Instagram and all this that you're living this laptop lifestyle, and can you? Absolutely. But it's not as easy as a lot of people think, right? Because then now we're dealing with, as an owner, you got to deal with a boutique firm, payroll, workers' comp, insurance, this, that, CPAs, bookkeeper. It's a mess, right? And then another mistake I made is the first year and they got a 6-figure tax bill. I'm like, what do I do now? I'm not paying 6 figures. All these rich people I talk to, they don't pay anything. So how do I get around that? So then, start talking to these people, and they introduce you to the CPA. This guy will help you out, right? It's all networking and connecting with people. I had a guy come over yesterday or 2 days ago and try to sell me solar panels. I'm in Michigan, by the way, and our bill is cheap. It's like $140 a month. And I ended up just recruiting the kid. I go, listen, stop doing this door to door. You're great at it. He's just got out of college. I go, I'm going to put you in a role. And I ended up placing him literally within 1 day. I told this, I called, and I didn't even get a fee on it, but it's a guy that I want to help. It's a small company, and I know once he grows to a certain level, he'll come back to me. So I'll do that too, right? I'll help people out and here you go, take this one for free. And some of you may not be at that point yet, but I'm telling you, if you can ever get to that point, It works. Um, so again, I just put this together. I'll send it to you. But we're gonna open the floor and let's hear what you guys have. What's working, what's not. What are you running into? What is your current process? Whatever. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Anthony, I know you do very well in sales, and you're not afraid to pick up the phone. So, what's working for you? Yeah, yeah, right. That was crazy. Yeah, yeah, right, right, right. Right. Me too. Yeah. Imagine if you did, though. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. No doubt. Spot on. And what you said about NPCs, I already have that set up because I had a guy reach out to me and say, Dom, I got an amazing NPC that you can use in supply chain. And I go, that scares me because like what's define your definition of amazing, right? Like your definition may be totally different than mine. Sends it over, job hop, job hop, job hop. I go, I can't send this guy. That is not my brand. That is not what I represent. Maybe they are amazing, but not for this client that I work with or the roles I'm working on right now. Even if I was going to go and market that person, that would not be what I would want to send out for a first NPC because your first impression is everything, right? And if you go to them and like, hey, this is an absolute rock star candidate, NPC, well, now they know what kind of candidates that you align with and you think are NPC. Kind of like what I'm saying. What's your definition of amazing? Like that's what they're thinking, right? Mark? Um, it's just another tool in the tool belt, right? It's just another piece. And like even if that one person says no, I'm going to the next person, especially if I know that they're using a recruiting firm, right? Like, and you have to have this mindset, or guess what? You might as well just go find a job right now for somebody else, and you have to do that day in, day out. And if you don't, good luck, and then you're going to say, because I promise you this, if you came and sat next to me for a week and you said, I'm struggling with BD, I promise you, within 1 week, if you do exactly what I say, you're not going to have that issue. Like but also sometimes things take time, right? And it's always going back to the long term play. And it's like I'm building my, but what I'm basically saying is consistency and discipline, day in, day out. And guess what happens? It's not like there's no magic secret to like how these people are successful. What do? They put in the work that most people don't want to do, or they think LinkedIn automation is going to do it for them, or email. No, that's just a piece of it, right? We have to do all the above. Right, spot on. And for me, when I say supply chain logistics, that covers every industry, right? Everything, every company, right? But that's where I can easily pivot, right? If SaaS supply chain tech is down, well, then I go back to my riders, my DSVs, my Shiners, the brokerages, whatever, and then I'll switch back. I'm gonna just keep contacting them, following up. But another thing, here's the thing too. How many of you guys have been recruiting for a while and let's say made 50 placements or more? How many people on this over the years? It doesn't even have to be right now. Okay, so Nicole, yeah, a lot of so I don't know if you do this, but I was talking to the VP at LaSalle Networks, and he told me this 3 years ago, and I wish I would have learned it a long time ago. And I kind of do it, but not like as strictly regimented as he does it. It's like follow up when you play, those people that you placed over all those, even if you're not working, follow back up with those clients. If you do it right though, you'd be calling them on day one, right? Hey, is everything all set? Are you good? Follow up in 30 days, 60, 90, just to check in. But not only that is let's say you're slow right now and they have a role open, but that's not the function at the company you normally would recruit. Well, now you got inside intel and you can say, hey Anthony, who'd be the best contact for this role? Because I can help you guys fill it, because you already have that relationship. You have an agreement signed. Go back into those people, you like all the people that we placed, and another thing too, hopefully if you're new, start doing this right away. I wish I would have. So I'm going to start doing it, but ask for recommendations for your LinkedIn and videos. If you can record any video content and then break that up into 60-second clips. I was in LinkedIn's office about a month or two ago, and she was just telling me, hey, they have a Detroit office here, just about the LinkedIn algorithms and how it works. And she didn't really know, but I'll tell you this: they were pushing video content right up. It's like you notice the people that post videos or pictures of their, sometimes even posted a picture of the family. Like you'd be surprised how many people like, or even when I just won my golf league championship, I posted a picture with the cup. A lot of like CEOs I work with, they'll reach out to me, hey, congrats, let's go golfing, right? Especially if they're local. You know how many country clubs I played this year? I'm not even a member. All of them in Metro Detroit, and I have never had to pay once. So it's just posting stuff out there, and then what? I see that you like baseball. Maybe we'll go to baseball. Whatever. Find something that you can relate to them or have in common or whatever it may be. Some people don't want that; they just want strictly a business deal. Okay, I can do that too. But I like to build a really personal relationship. Like I can text any one of the CEOs I work with right now, and they'll respond. And not even that. Like I was on the phone with a candidate a couple days ago, and then I'm talking to the CEO yesterday morning, and I told him, hold on, I'm gonna patch this guy in. Like how many people will tell the CEO, hold on, let me patch this guy in? And then guess what? They're meeting again next week. Probably going to be a spot on fit because I know the personalities align. It's in the B2B2B reverse logistics space, which is a $20 billion untapped industry right now. These guys got it on lock because these logistics companies, they don't want, it costs a lot of money when you return stuff to Amazon or wherever. Like during COVID, I ordered 10 shirts and I would say, all right, I'm only keeping this one. Here, return it back. Well, you know how much money that costs these companies to go back and warehouse it and this and that. So he tapped into it, and I found him the perfect guy, and that was just networking and having calls. But it's always thinking. Yeah, that's amazing, Anthony. I literally, I just lashed out on one of the CFOs I work with, and he's working on a $1.3 billion deal, and he's local here in Michigan. And I said, Dave, can I just come in and stay with you? I just want to learn this. And he goes, absolutely. So like he stayed on the phone with me for 2 hours yesterday. Yeah, we have an offer that we're working on for him, but we had 2 hours. We were just talking about M&A, this and that. And I'm like, Dave, plug me in. I'll do whatever. You need me to go pick up a piece of paper? I'll do it. Whatever. That's how, because I genuinely do want to learn that, because I always get pitched these ideas, or do you want to, Don, why don't you come and sell this for me? Yeah, I'll do it on the side. While I'm talking to this person, I'm making money over here, connecting dots, right? Like that. I'm gonna trademark it, the dot connector, because that's really all I'm doing all day. Just boom, here, let me plug you in with this guy. Here, push you over here. Meet this person, even if it's not. Like I have a group right now, a logistics call, 85 logistics executives to 100. It's every 5 weeks. And then I spun off another group out of that, and I said, listen, guys, let's go on this. And anytime somebody posts, go on and like and share their content, make write something in there, whatever. But it helps with the algorithms. It pushes you up. Because a lot of people that were in jobs 15, 20 years, and then now they're looking for another job. Well, they never really had to never look for a job, number one. But now they're realizing I didn't really network. I networked inside of my company, but now I thought I knew, or these people would help me, but now I can't find anything. And the people that, especially when you're 200K and above, I mean, I can show you a list right here. I have 150 MPC candidates ready to go. Now I just don't even have the time to work on them. And I even tell them that. I go, listen, I'm boutique. I have to work on the roles I have right now. One day I'm going to start a MPC full MPC division. That's it. That's all we're going to do. But yeah, but I'm not kidding you when I say 150 rock star candidates, like from SAP, Salesforce. Like some of them making $1 million plus a year. So yeah, right. Me too. We have it every Mark, every Friday, 12:30. Exactly what you're talking about. That's exactly what we do. Because yeah, instead of me trying to research all these tools, like I'll research this one. Tom will do this one. Anthony will do this one. Ernie will do this one, and then let's combine them. And then now what we started doing on that call is having the CEO of those companies come and show us. Yeah, yeah. Actually, let me shut off the recording now so we can talk for real. Well, thanks for joining round one.